The Merchant of Venice is a romantic comedy. So before knowing what is romantic comedy, let us know what is comedy. Comedy means it is generally defined as a play where the characters and their follies, they come together to entertain us, to entertain the audience, or to entertain the readers. That is what you understand by comedy, isn't it? And there won't be any disaster taking place, isn't it? So disaster doesn't take place to any of the characters, and the story ends with a happy ending. So this is what normally happens in a comedy. This is what we understand about comedy. But you can see Shakespeare and his contemporaries went a little more ahead of it, and they went to reinvent something called as the romantic comedy. Okay, so wherein there are two things together. So romance between a male and a female, and at the same time comedy. So there won't be any disaster in it. It will be ending with a happy ending, like how we term the comedy is. So romantic comedy is something like that. A comedy in which both the things, both the elements are combined together by Shakespeare. Romance as well as comedy. And that is how the story is coming to an end. But this create a suspense in the audience, suspense in the readers. But the outcome is known to the readers or the audience. They will be knowing what will be happening. It will be definitely ending with a happy ending. Okay. So here, this particular romantic comedy is also ending in a fruition of marriage. Okay. So it ends fruitfully with the marriage of the hero and the heroine. So in this romantic comedy, Shakespeare has introduced one more thing, is that in almost all his romantic comedies, he is having this type of a style. What the thing is that the heroine of the play, the heroine of the drama, disguise herself as a man. Okay, so disguising means dressing up, like how I have told you earlier. We never had any female characters in these dramas of 16th century. That time boys used to dress themselves, disguise themselves as women. Okay, so same way the women character, the female character, the heroine of the drama disguised herself as a man for some completion, for the solution of certain problems, and finally she ends up with a good ending. That is what you can see over here. Okay, so that is what the difficulties of herself and the lover ends up fruitfully in a happy ending. So this is what you can see in this style of romantic comedy. That is about romantic comedy. So I have already discussed about Shakespeare, about the theatre, about the Elizabethan age, Renaissance period, about the romantic, about comedy, about the romantic comedy, and there. So we are entering into the summary, or before it, introduction to the Merchant of Venice. Let us go to the introduction of Merchant of Venice. So this Merchant of Venice is a romantic comedy, as I have told you. So this is a romantic comedy by Shakespeare, isn't it? Which is universally popular for bearing themes of love as well as political issues. Political issues of the fight between the Christians and the Jews during that age, during the Elizabethan period, that is during the 16th century. The Christians and Jews had very tough conflicts between each other. So that is focused in this particular drama. Okay, so during the Elizabethan times, the difference between the religions, the Christians and the Jews, you can see in this play. So it is very dramatically placed, very nicely placed. Okay, then Shakespeare brings in characters from different classes, which help readers and audience from different parts of society to identify with the play. So that the characters' use of language ranging from formal to colloquial. So you can see that lay language, formal language, everything in this. So formal language by the high class people, colloquial language by the lower class people. So the class differentiation also you can see in this particular drama. Okay, so as we are going through the drama, you will understand all these facts. So, from poetic to prose, from quick fire dialogue to long speeches, you have in this particular drama, from verse to prose, etc. So, these type of language style Shakespeare has used over here, you can see. Then, this provide the play with the necessary beauty to enjoy it at every moment, isn't it? Shakespeare's characters are so that they tell about human nature in detail and with depth. So all these things you can see in this particular drama. So finally in the play, romance prevails over villainy, friendship prevails over enmity, love, kindness, nobility, triumph over greed, and other lowly qualities such as hatred and revenge. So all these things you can see in this drama. So all the qualities of human being you can see in this particular drama, Merchant of Venice. Then you have the characters. Let us go to the characters of Shakespeare. The characters of this drama are, you have Antonio, he's a merchant of Venice. Then you have Bassanio, his friend, his best friend, suitor to Portia. Then you have Gratiano, another friend in love with Nerissa. Nerissa is Portia's servant as well as her friend, maid servant and her friend. Then you have Lorenzo, another friend who was in love with Jessica. Jessica is Shylock's daughter. Then Salarino, Salanio, Salario. These are all other friends of Antonio and Bassanio. They are common friends there. Gratiano is one friend which I have mentioned over here. Then you have Leonardo, servant of Bassanio you have over here. Then you have Shylock. Shylock is a rich Jew and a moneylender as well. Jessica is his daughter. I mentioned her already. Then you have Tubal, and he's another Jew. Shylock is a Jew. Tubal is another Jew, Shylock's friend. Then Launcelot Gobbo. Launcelot Gobbo is a clown, servant to Shylock. He was working for Shylock earlier, then he leaves Shylock's job and he joins Bassanio. He goes to join Bassanio later on. Then Old Gobbo, Launcelot's father, Old Gobbo you have. Portia, an heiress of Belmont. So you have seen two places already over here. Antonio is a merchant of Venice, right? Venice already exists in the world map. If you see, you can find a place called as Venice. But there is no place called as Belmont. Belmont is a fictive place by Shakespeare. There is no such place called as Belmont at all. So it's a fictive place mentioned in the drama. Then you have Nerissa, her lady in waiting. Nerissa is her lady in waiting. I have mentioned about Nerissa earlier, who falls in love with Gratiano later on and they get married. So that is Nerissa, a maid servant or lady in waiting in the sense maid servant of Portia and her friend also. Okay. Then you have the suitors, Prince of Morocco, Prince of Aragon. These are suitors to Portia. They come from Morocco, okay, the Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon. Then you have Balthazar and Stefano. These are servants to Portia. Then merchants, officers of the court of justice, jeweler, musicians, servants to Portia and other attendants. So these are the characters. Central characters mentioned over here is you have Antonio, you have Bassanio, you have Portia, and you have Shylock. You have to speak about the villain, isn't it? So this is how the story is about. But the story deals, the hero-heroine in the story is Bassanio and Portia. But the title is, the story is having the title The Merchant of Venice in relation to Antonio. Okay, so Antonio is the Merchant of Venice. So the story, Antonio is having a very good role right from the beginning of this drama to the end of the drama. So it is a suitable title, The Merchant of Venice over here. So he is having a lead role in it. Due to him, the story gets into an outcome, okay, and it ends with a happy ending. That is what you can understand from this particular drama. So that is about the characters over here. Let us move to the next step. So over here, as I have told you, it's a fictive place, Belmont, isn't it? So Belmont, which literally means the hill beautiful. Okay, this is what it means. So again, it is a poetic and romantic world, as it is a world of love. You can see over here, friendship, music, song, where things flourish and where true love is aided to make a right choice. So this is what you can see over here. So in Belmont, the scenes are set in moonlight gardens. Shakespeare wanted it to happen in that manner. Okay, so Belmont is the world of wealth, luxury, where Portia is richly left to be wooed and married through the lottery of the casket. So that is the story about. Whereas on the other side, that is Venice, in opposition to Venice it is. Belmont is in opposition to Venice. Venice, which is a world of business, a business place. So mere business in Venice. The people only knows business in Venice. So just the opposite of Venice is Belmont. Okay. And then you can understand one thing in this particular drama is that noblemen during the Elizabethan age, which was a time wherein they used to live a splendid and extravagant life. Okay, they used to enjoy to the fullest of their wealth. No savings. They never wanted to save it. They used to. That is through the character of Bassanio you can understand it. Okay, he had an extravagant life. So that is a character what Shakespeare has introduced. So the nobleman of that time, Elizabethan time, is introduced. Shakespeare had introduced the nobleman of the Elizabethan era with this particular character Bassanio. Okay, so introduction of Bassanio itself is given like that as an extra splendid person, extravagant person. Okay, that we'll see to it later on in the drama. So with these things, I'll just wind up for today. I'll be back with the remaining explanation in the next class. Thank you very much.